We're working.
We're working.
We're
So the
on.
working
We're
girl.
on. We're on. We are loud, live, large, and in colour. Good evening, everybody.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
You are joining us
Yes.
on G&T Sips and Giggles, a one for the road.
Yes.
She is Tina Legs Tortured.
And he is my work husband, otherwise known as, because it's the Halloween Spectacular, Glenn Boo.
GlennyBoo.com.
GlennyBoo.com. How are you, love?
I'm really good. Yes, how are you? It has been 2 whole weeks since we have last sat down and had a chat.
I know. It's been a while. It's been a lovely break. I'll tell you that much. As much as I love you and you're my work husband, I would be glad to see the back of you sometimes.
Well, I mean, we did see each other over the weekend, to be fair.
Yeah, we did. We did. And it's almost Halloween.
I know.
Do you like Halloween?
As I said before, I don't really mind Halloween. I don't make much of an effort, if I'm honest. I don't really go out
We
on
don't
Halloween.
make much of an effort at Christmas either, love. Let's be honest here.
Miss Legs,
What?
may I remind you that I would rather put and invest all of my time and effort into
go.
my travel social life
Here
than
we
I
go.
would on a Hallmark holiday. I'm just
Nah, just saying. Just putting it out there, like, do you know what I mean? You see, I love Halloween for the kids. It's all about the kids. And I'll tell you why I love Halloween, because years ago, we were doing that show on Sunday.
Yes, we were down in Donaghadee at Meadowbank Social and Recreational Club, and we had the best
Phenomenal.
time, by the way. Best
Phenomenal.
time. It was a
Donaghadee.
Drags to Riches special, which we aptly named
Drags to Witches.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We had so much fun.
It was, and I was describing back in the day what it was like for me when I was a wee girl when we were growing up on Halloween.
Now, can I just point out, by the way, I can relate to this.
Really?
I can relate to this.
Oh, how come?
Well, you go ahead. You finish your story.
I
and
was
then tell-
saying, listeners, will you hear? I was saying the audience was lovely, and I had brought up that when I was a wee girl, we didn't have pumpkins, we had turnips.
Yes.
And they took about 3 days to carve out and make faces. And then you had to get a shoelace and you had to get a big knitting needle to put the big hole in it. And then you had to go into a chapel, sorry, Father, to steal a wee candle, put it in the middle. And you near burnt the fingers yourself because you had to light it and then you had to drip the wax in so it would stick. And
Well,
we didn't
you burnt 4 of the fingers that you had left
I did.
after losing a fifth trying to
dear
carve the
God.
thing
I
because
couldn't
it
even
was
go around
rock
collecting any
solid.
money. I only see you carry one turnip, and then you had to carry it in your good hand. Your burnt hand was molded to your skin, and all our costumes were big black bin liners.
Yeah, same. We were exactly the same. And
Serious.
those plastic masks that were like vacuum formed
Yeah.
plastic masks with like bits of like literally like bits of hair on the top.
Yeah.
And you used to have that tiny wee bit on the mouth where you used to stick your tongue through, but the slit was so small that your tongue wouldn't go the whole way through it. And you would go to the door and you would chap the door and you would wait and they'd come and you'd go, Halloween's coming
on, and the goose is getting fat and all that malarkey.
And then at the very end you'd put your hand out
Yeah.
and ask for money. Because
So you did.
You didn't get
There was no
sweets
trick.
or
It wasn't trick or treating the way it's all modernized nowadays.
very Americanized.
But I'm glad that it is, because that's the kind of Halloween I would have adored. And I think because I was robbed of the Halloween that I craved and dreamt of, and nobody really dressed up back in the day either. It was just too much of a hassle. I mean, you used to look on television and we only had like 3 channels, BBC One, BBC Two, and even though it was UTV, Mummy always called it BBC Three. So she did. And I used to watch All the Americans and all the kids going around trick-or-treating, and I used to go, that's the way you're supposed to celebrate Halloween.
But you wouldn't even get half of the stuff that you get in stores now to decorate your house. None of that existed.
No.
It was literally there was a rack of masks that you would have got for kids. That was it. And
Yeah.
maybe those plastic fangs. Do you remember the plastic fangs? You used to, and they used to like
They
you
were
put-
top and bottom.
and you used to bend them over and you used to put them in and that one. And that was, or that would sort of be your outfit.
And then they cut the lip off.
They would.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Used
I
to
can relate to all that. So,
Oh.
that was kind of my era growing up as well, to be
Wow,
fair.
you must have been on the tail end of the poor Halloween. So you were. I was really in the thick of it. You know, we were looking. And listen, if you got a turnip back in the day, you didn't carve it out. You chopped it up and you put it into a big pot of water. And it was turned into a very good vegetable. And while I'm on that, I just had a memory there of my father, God rest him. See, when we were kids and we were sick, and my daddy used to go out to the Clark's Fruit Shop on the Springfield Road, and he used to buy 2 big cabbages. We used to cry our eyes out. He used to chop them all up, and he used to put them in with boiling water and a wee drop of salt, and then he used to drain them. And then we used to have to drink the cabbage water while it was boiling hot.
What?
We used to have to
Why?
drink, because I'll tell you why. See, no matter who had a stomach cramp,
Right enough.
see, no matter, and I tell you,
right
better
enough.
still, it worked.
I'm sure it did.
It worked. Because you were straight up them stairs or straight out the back. Because we had a toilet out the back where you hear us. Do you remember the old toilets you used to have? You used to have to get up on a wee stool and it had the big piece of wood. And then there was a big chain and a big pipe that ran all the way up to the very top, and the cistern was on that. That's the kind of toilet we had.
Of course, it used gravity, didn't it? That was the whole idea.
That was
it used to be like literally in the roof. Yes.
Well, we had one of them outside toilets right up until 2005.
Wow.
Swear to God.
Wow.
I used to go out there for hours. That was my saving grace. And I'd always remember when I was a kid and Daddy used to say, you better drink that water, because he was a very firm man. And when Daddy told you to drink the cabbage water, you drank the cabbage water. But I'll tell you something, see, within an hour, boom. It was nothing wrong with you.
And gosh,
So
I never had any experiences like that, I'd have to say. But wow.
Could you imagine saying to the kids these days, drink that cabbage water?
No, sure, you would just throw them
It'd be like, no, give me £20, I'm going down to Boots.
a Doggalax or something, like a laxative. Here, take out a wee bit of chocolate, love. But here, we have so much to catch up on,
Yes,
because a lot's
we've
happened in
loads.
2 weeks. First of all, R.I.P. Liam Payne.
Oh my
Such
God.
tragic news.
Horrendous.
Was pretty horrendous to read about that.
God bless
But,
him.
we did go out for food. Gary and I went out for food.
Where'd you go?
We went into town. We were going to go to Ben's Bingo in the Reporter. And
It's on every Wednesday night.
on every Wednesday night from 8 o'clock
To 10.
till 10. Great crack. We were supposed to meet up with a couple of girlfriends, but unfortunately they cancelled last minute. So Gary and I decided we would go to Bootleggers for something to eat.
And we just missed you.
You were at rehearsals. That's
We
right.
were at rehearsals.
So we went to Bootleggers. Now, do you remember my whole debacle about the £1.50 sausage rolls at Greg's?
Yes.
Well, I found a new thing to moan about.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Listen. Oh, God. Put the kettle on.
£15 for nachos.
What?
So let's break that down, right? So they literally went to Tesco and bought a big share bag of flavoured tortilla chips, 49p.
Obviously.
And then toppings, so a bit of guacamole, a bit of sour cream, a bit of pulled beef, like beef brisket-y kind of stuff.
Yeah.
£15. And he was like, Gary bought it, by the way. I was like, I'll just stick to my chicken dippers, which cost me £6, but £15 for nachos.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? Now, to be fair to him, he left $7.50 of it on the plate. He didn't finish it.
Right.
So he didn't, but
you know what? Do you know something? I think that there's a bit of this is a two-way street that's happening with hospitality. I think they have to charge you these prices because of the prices, what has happened in the last 5 years. And I don't care what anybody says. It's Brexit.
Okay.
We're being robbed blind, and we're being taken full advantage of. Pure and simple. Had we have remained in the
EU,
the EU, European Union, I don't think things would have been as expensive because we're having to pay for everything ourselves. You know?
Well, that's
another
up
story.
for debate. I mean, we always
yeah.
said we wouldn't get political, so we're not getting political.
It's not political. I'm just saying. If you voted for it, fair play to you. If you didn't, fair play to you.
Well, I didn't vote at all, by the way. My flight was delayed, so I don't really have a say on it. I couldn't get home in time. But we walked past the Ivy.
Oh.
So do you know this brand new
yes.
gorgeous restaurant
I'd
opposite
love to
City
go and
Hall?
wait, we should go.
Well, here's an idea. How about we do... for the purposes, purely for research for the podcast.
Absolutely.
How about we do like 5 nights of dinner and we'll go out and we'll go around to some of these places and, you know, we'll actually experience it and we'll come back and we'll talk about it on the pod. What do you reckon?
We'll let them know that we're going to be mentioning their wonderful, gorgeous venues.
Well, I mean, what we can do, we can always do that, or we can just turn up and enjoy the food and then talk about it. But yes, so if anybody has any ideas of great places to go, the Ivy's definitely somewhere I'd like to go. I've never been.
I've never been to the Ivy. I would love to go. It's my birthday soon on 20th of November. If we're going to go to
I'm not taking you to the Ivy for your birthday, love. You'll get McDonald's at the end of Royal Avenue. That's as good as you're going to get.
And taking me to the Ivy, you'll have to get a crisis loan.
But yes, so if anybody's got any ideas of places that we could go for something to eat, please get in touch. You'll find all of the information that you need to get in touch with is in the description of this very episode. You can send us a WhatsApp. You can contact us on social media, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the usual ways, or you can email us. We look forward to hearing. So please get in touch and let us know. But really looking forward to doing that. I think that would be...
So am I.
But here, what have you been up to?
Well, I've had a change in my routine.
Now, is this you? Are you coming out to me here now, Tina?
Oh, honey, I came out years ago, for God's sake. I came out before I came out. Do you know, I remember telling my best friend Kathy I was gay when I was 15, and she looked at me. I was raging, and here's me, I have something to tell you. She goes to me, what is? And here's me, I'm gay. Here's just, I know, come here. And she just carried on normal conversation. I thought I was going to drop a bombshell. So I've got a new PT.
Oh, okay.
Previous one was Ashley.
Yes, Ashley, who was on our podcast.
Ashley
yes.
Scott,
Yeah.
the divine Ashley Scott. Well, Ashley has moved on to a new career.
Okay.
So he has. And I have a new PT. He's called Fra.
Oh, hello, Fra.
Hiya, Fra. And he's brilliant.
Good.
Really
and
is.
you're enjoying being back at the gym.
I'm up earlier.
Okay.
Much-
Even earlier than you're already up at the...
Yeah. Now you know what I'm like.
I do know what you're like. I have messages from you at like 10 to 7 in the
In the
morning.
That's me. So, and it has given me a whole new lease of energy.
Right.
And I've embraced it. And I was a wee bit worried about what's going to happen here because I knew Ashley was going. But I told Ashley when he had made his mind up and he was going. And here's the funny thing. Would you hear this? So about 4 weeks ago when Ashley had decided he was going, I walked into the gym and I saw Fra sitting on the stool. The first time I saw him. And in my mind, I knew you're going to be my new PT.
It was destiny.
It was destiny. Yeah.
So is he like your new boyfriend, but really you're just calling him like a PB?
Well,
does
not
he,
necessarily.
Well, first of all, does he know he's your new boyfriend?
No, he's not. He's just my new PT. And he's just fantastic.
Oh, that's good.
And it's given me a whole new kind of sort of lease of energy.
Mm-hmm. And you're enjoying being back at the gym and back in that routine. And
I'm with him for longer.
Okay.
In the last 3 weeks, I have run 4 5Ks.
Okay, well, that's
in
good.
a week. I suffer for it.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be damned for doing it rather than be damned for not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What else has happened? Oh,
Don't panic, listeners. That's not a ghost. That's just Tina.
Give us my broomstick. I'm out of here. I'm also excited because we're getting to the final stages of the extension.
Oh, yes. Okay. So this is the extension for people who aren't maybe just aware.
Yeah.
And this is the extension that you're having on your
House.
mansion up in Deer Park Road.
We're going to have a left wing.
Oh, this is exciting. Tina's got wings in her house.
So I had a lovely chat with Q, the architect, today. And when he said, so where are you going to live? Where's your mummy going to live? And I was like, I just felt butterflies because it's been a long time coming, you know. And I'm so excited about it because it's just going to make my mum's living so much easier.
Oh, that's nice.
It'll be a bit hectic as all of these things always are.
It's a big project, like, to be fair, because
massive.
I mean they're pretty much knocking
Massive.
down.
So I think what we'll probably look to do is to be sensible about it. Once we get all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted and the full stops, apostrophes and commas, once they're all installed,
Other punctuation is available.
I think we could be looking at the beginning of March because then I can find real suitable accommodation for mum, which is safe and healthy.
But to be fair, that's a nice time because spring will be coming in
This
and
is
it'll be a
it.
bit warmer as well.
And the nights will start to get brighter.
Brighter, yeah.
So by the time they finish mid-April, toward the end of April, it'll be like, oh, look
and
at
you'll
how
have it
bright
just in
it
time
is.
for summer.
Exactly.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I'll have a painting party, and then I'll have a lino party, and then I'll have a dishwashing party.
You remind me of my friend Mark. Everything's a party when he wants people to come over to his house to do stuff for free. That's exciting. Well, I hope all goes well with that. But here, did you hear the latest scandal? Now, I know. You always roll your eyes.
Go ahead.
About RuPaul.
Oh.
So,
it's not that I don't like RuPaul. Okay. I do like RuPaul, and I appreciate what she does for the community. I really do. But change it up.
I get it.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I don't want to go on too much because, but I completely understand where you're coming from. You know, I like I've said many times. You know, it's promoting an idea. And everything kind of just feels one note. That's really my issue. So that's my issue with Drag Race. Okay. Not with the queens, but with Drag Race. But here, the scandal is actually one of the queens on Drag Race. Well, I don't know if it's scandal. So the gossip is. So there is a drag queen from Belfast who's on Drag Race UK at the moment, Charra Tea. And this week on the episode, she was doing her confessional. So that's where they sort of sit and they talk to the camera and they talk about the scene that was just on or whatever it is. And I don't know whether she realized that she said it, but what she did say was that there's only 3 drag queens in Belfast, and all 3 of them have been on Drag Race. Now, that clearly
is not
it's not right. And that's what I mean. I think she may have said it just without really thinking about how that might have been received. But I have to say, some of the queens in Belfast, I'm not going to single anybody out, but they've been a little bit sassy on social media about this.
Do you know something, Glenn? I found this out backstage on Sunday, and I can tell you instantly when I was talking to Pure Band and Azure, because they were having a conversation about it, and I overheard it. And then they looked at me and said, "Did you hear this?" And I said, "No, I didn't. But you know what? She's very clever, because I'll tell you what she's done. She's made everybody talk about her."
Absolutely.
And Pure couldn't understand. Pure Band, ladies and gentlemen, for listeners, is a drag queen in our Dragster Riches troupe, said to me, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Those boy bands, when they're all put together."
You've spoke about this before.
Yeah,
you've spoke
go
about
and rack a hotel room and then they become famous.
Bad press is good press. And it's better to stand out for the bad press sells and people start talking about it more.
Exactly.
I totally get that.
Smart cookie.
I don't know whether it was intentional. She, in the episode, she was described by the other queens that she is somebody that's known for being very tongue in cheek and, being a bit of a kidder.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't really take it that it was coming from a place of what she said was what she meant. Do you know that way? I think it was just that kind of confessional. Oh, well, sure, that kind of flippant, comment. But it's given me great fodder on Facebook. I love watching the comments from some of the other.
Well, she's fired up all her juices.
But I think this is kind of interesting, isn't it? Because she doesn't actually live in Belfast. She's been in Manchester for quite a while.
Yeah.
But is sort of promoting herself as being from Belfast, which she technically is, but she's not a performer in Belfast. You know that, right? But yeah, that tickled me this week, Tina. It really tickled me.
I'm sure it did, because if they're talking about it backstage at Dragster Riches, then they're talking about it in a lot of different places, and there's a lot of drag queenie conflicty kind of sort of conversations. Was she right for saying it? Who did she mean? I mean, there was only Blue Hydrangea.
And then there was Jombers Blonde as well.
Yeah,
that was the second person.
So maybe in her mind, that's what she was thinking, and what she said came out completely wrong.
Possibly.
But you know what? Even if she did, she's very smart with it.
Yeah,
fair play. And there's another new thing on television. I don't know whether, but you can't watch daytime TV like I can.
I've got catch up.
Deal or No Deal.
As in like old school Deal or No Deal with Noel Edmonds?
No, well, it's the same one, but it's with Stephen Mulhern.
Oh, I don't. Do you like Stephen Mulhern?
I like him, and I'll tell you for why I like him, because Mummy killed herself laughing, because he used to do that program.
In for a penny, in for a pound. But he used to be in for a penny, in for a grand. And everybody used to go in for a penny, in for a pound. And he used to drive him round the bloody bend.
He used to go crazy with it. Well, my mum loved that because it was so raw. And I loved listening to her laugh. And she would be in stitches at it. So it made me kind of sort of think, I never used to like him. And then I didn't know why I didn't like him. But now that everybody was this household vision of Deal or No Deal, Noel Edmonds.
Yeah.
So when they done a trial run there for like 6 to 8 weeks before the summer, I think what they realised is it's on at the wrong time of the year.
Okay.
And I think they pulled it.
Right.
So it came back at the start of the week.
Right.
And they brought back all those guests that were on it, the contestants.
Right.
And lots of new ones. And the wee fella yesterday won £1.
Oh, goodness. Would you not be gutted about that?
Oh, I'd be devastated.
Considering you would have had a lot higher offers throughout the game. Let's give him a chance at the end of the day. What channel is it on?
ITV.
So it's on ITV? So it's not on Channel
ITV.
4 anymore?
No, it's not on. No, ITV.
Wow, okay.
They've bought it over.
They pretty much took over quite a lot of all of the old sort of shows. Because Big Brother obviously is on ITV2 now. It used to be on Channel 5. That was on Channel 4. Like a lot of those kind of shows are now like you've got The Voice, which was on the BBC. It's now on ITV as well. So they are kind of, you know, like
Well, I
buying
think
up all
Big
these
Sam
shows.
McCall knew already when The Voice came along. He knew that, while that was on the BBC, that the Pop Idol and all that
X Factor.
stuff, X Factor, it was the days were numbered.
Yeah.
You know, because that voice is what it's about. You know, so you got Lingo 1 from 3 to 4. Then
I do like Lingo.
Lingo.
Do you play,
me and you should apply for that.
Well, actually, my friend Mark has been talking about him and I possibly doing it, right? But I left it firmly in his court. Now, that was about 2 years ago, and it'll probably be another 6 years before he ever gets his finger right. Actually,
right.
So you apply, you sort all that out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you know, you're a lady of leisure.
Yes, a lady of pleasure. So, listeners of Sips and Giggles podcast, I'm putting this out there. I'm manifesting. Should Glenn and I apply to go on
let's just
Lingo?
do it.
Will we do it?
You can do it. You've got you can do it during the day. I'm working, as you know.
Because remember, I was very successful and made my way on to
Tipping Point.
Point.
We talked about that a couple of episodes ago.
I know.
But
and
do you play Wordle at all?
No, but I think I would be very good at it.
Wordle is one game a day, and you have to guess the 5-letter word.
Right.
It's free. It's the New York Times owns it. I'll send you the link, and you can have a look at it.
I see it on Twitter, X.
Yeah,
all the
it's
time.
a good way to pass time.
Aye.
So it is. But that would be interesting. I would definitely be up for that.
I don't know about that because as a single mother and don't know where I find the time to bake my own bread these days, Glenn. Honest to God.
I learned a fun fact during the week. Did you know that you're always 2 minutes away from death?
Yes.
Because your breath resets the timer.
Oh.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
Unfortunately, is all we've got time for this one for the road, because both Tina and I are off to see a psychic medium tonight.
And it's more research for the pod. I'm optimistic because I've never been, and you always see them online and you see them on television and adverts, and I always look at them and I always think, can they contact the other side?
See, I don't know. We were talking about this in work. Do you ever remember the mentalist Darren Brown? And he used to be on Channel 4 all the time.
That's right.
And he would talk about the psychology and how you can use something called neuro-linguistic programming.
Okay.
It only affects, I guess, certain types of people. Certain types of people are susceptible to it. Everybody is susceptible to it, but certain types of people are really susceptible to it. And he demonstrated kind of the way that you can influence people using things like Barnum statements, so very generic statements and so on. And I think that's kind of where my mindset's at with this. So we're going along purely for research for the pod. It should be fun.
Well, I hope it is. We got front row seats.
So there was a person in our family that passed away a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And I put a post about it on Facebook in 2016.
Okay.
So I went back and I found that post.
Oh.
And I made it public. So I'm just testing the water to see whether or not there might be a mention. Do you get what I'm going?
I know you're coming with
I'm setting
this.
a honey trap. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Whereas when you look at my social media, there's no details. I just wish everybody a good morning.
Well, my name's on all of the tickets, you see. So that was my thinking.
Right.
Anyway, I'm forever the cynic. But anyway, that's all we've got time for the chat. But we're now going to move over to our One for the Road segment.
Shot.
Everybody!
Yay! This is a part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, where we ask each other 5 quick-fire general knowledge questions.
5? I have 15.
I don't have enough time, love. I told you. I've still to bake my own bread here. 5 general, maybe 6. 5 or 6 general knowledge quick-fire questions that we only need one answer for, and I've made Glenn stumble twice.
I'm going to get you today.
No, you're not.
I'm going to get you today.
And I'm hoping that I definitely can do it again. So I'm going to go for a hat trick here. So are you ready, Glenn?
Go for it.
What is your hidden talent?
I can roll my tongue.
What is your favourite board game?
Monopoly.
What is your favourite rainy day activity?
Oh, watching TV.
How do you usually answer the telephone?
Hi, this is Glenn.
Who's your favourite Disney character?
Prince Eric.
Finish this phrase. The way to my heart is
Through my chest.
through your stomach. Here's my last one. Okay. What are you most looking forward to?
My Christmas cruise.
Okay, Jean.
Okay, so you didn't get me this week again.
No, I didn't.
But I think I am going to catch.
Human.
I think I'm going to get you here.
Human.com.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Where do lost socks go?
In the drawer.
What personality would the moon have?
Bright.
Who's the most scandalous vegetable?
Carrot.
Which gesture would replace talking?
Curtsying.
Who's your historical karaoke partner?
Miss May.
Which animal sound would you sneeze? And my last one. Float or stay grounded?
Flow.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. I thought that was quite good. I thought I would get you on something because they're totally random.
I don't think when we get those questions, ladies and gentlemen, we hope for a stumble. It's when you don't look at the questions beforehand and then you read it out and then there's a stumble.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Yeah.
So just before we go, as always, just want to shout out that if you'd like to support our podcast, then please consider joining us on Patreon. This episode is going out and dedicated to our fabulous Patreon member, our paid Patreon member, Angela Reid. Angela, thank you so much for signing up and thank you for supporting our podcast.
Thank you, Angela Reid.
Tina and I are super grateful that you decided to support us with this. If you're interested, for the cost of a drink per month, you can listen to every episode early, access exclusive digital content, and get discounts for up-and-coming G&T shows. Membership tiers start from free, but paid membership starts from £3 and goes right up to £5.50 per month, with each tier offering increased benefits. You can find out all the information and the details of this episode, but if you do want to support us, head on over to patreon.com G&T Pod. Your support helps keep our conversation flowing.
It does.
As always as well, if you do want to get in touch, as I said earlier, drop us a message. We have loads of questions, by the way, for next week's episode.
Marvelous.
We got so many questions following our live episode that we done last week. There's still questions in there that we never got to answer as part of that live episode.
Right,
so I've got a whole bank of questions that I need to ask you because people have asked, people will want to know.
They will.
Well, Tina, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, my darling. And as always with yourself, my gorgeous working husband. Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween. And until next time,
chin chin.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of G&T Sips and Giggles. If you've enjoyed our conversation, then don't forget to share it with your friends, and why not subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Your reviews mean the world to us and really help others find the show, so please take a moment to leave one, but be kind. If you'd like to support the podcast, why not consider joining us on Patreon? For the cost of a drink a month, you can listen to episodes early, access exclusive digital content, and get discounts to upcoming G&T shows. Your support helps us keep the conversation flowing. Cheers, we'll see you next time. Chin chin.